So the transformation function is simply a convenient way to represent a production set. Here is a production set, and I could define this production set by reference to any production plan Y, which is in the space of all possible production sets, RL, which is such that f of y is negative or equal to 0, and f here is the transformation function, so it's a function defined over a production plan. And the interesting feature of this transformation function is that any point, any production plan on the efficient frontier, on the frontier here, is such that f of y is equal to 0. So f of y is being maximized here. So it's just really a convention. It's a convenient way to represent the set. What we're saying here is we have a function, and this function is being maximized when a particular production plan is efficient, in the sense that it's the maximum output that can be produced for a given input level. Now, a production function is basically the maximum amount of output that can be produced using a particular combination of inputs. So if I define an input vector z with z1, z2, zl minus 1, assuming there's only one output, right? So here I'm just retaining the inputs, and I'm designating all of these entries as positive numbers, unlike the production vector or production plan. I can then define my production function f of z, which is basically the maximum amount of Q output, maximum output that can be produced using the particular input vector z. What is the relation between this notation and the notation of production plans? Well, using this notation, I could simply designate any production vector y as simply a series of inputs. Now I have to adjust and put a negative sign here. And then the output here could, the units of outputs being produced could be designated as Q. So this is the vector. Output here is Q. Now this here assumes that the output has been maximized. So I should really put Q star. This is the maximum output here. In the actual production plan, this does not have to be the maximum output that can be produced, right? I don't have to be necessarily on the efficient frontier. And I can actually write that the maximum output being produced, the output being produced Q would actually be smaller than or equal to the maximum output that can be produced given the particular configuration of inputs being required.